So I'm trying this new, like, I say new, it's not at all new, but it's new to me, so I'm gonna call it new because I'm the center of my own universe. This new, like, chocolate type thing. Not chocolate. It's this Mexican candy bar called Boo Boo Lubu. And I'm a Christian, okay? Which is an amazing start to this, but I'm a Christian. But if I wasn't, one bite of this would get me to believe in God. There is no way that, like, random chance and chemistry created something this awful. Like, this thing has to be the work of a malicious creator. This shit is so ass. So what it says on the top is it's filled with marshmallow cream, or like marshmallow flavored cream, strawberry flavored jam wrapped in a chocolate flavored coating. And as you would imagine, no, it's not chocolate. It's not vaguely chocolate-esque. It is awful. It is like, it's just like solid cornstarch composite, so it's just completely crumble in your mouth awful. Like, instead of melting pleasantly like chocolate, it just dissolves into, like, powder and chalk. It's agony. Anyway, in today's video, I want to be retrofitting the Baguette, whose greatest strength is redundancy, and with this retrofit, it will completely lose that strength, but I thought it would be really funny to run PACs the entire length front to back and just have the most ridiculously overpowered particle cannon at the front running this entire ship's length. So yeah, today we're going to be building the Cyber Baguette. Perhaps I should have led with that instead of my Boo Boo Lubu story, but you get what you get. This looks quite strange hollowed out, to be honest. Being able to actually see clearly every one of the segments is kind of neat. Anyway, we're going to completely destroy it. This, like, nice compartmentalized interior, gone. Alright, so what we want to do, there is a max length to particle cannons. It can only be 1,000 meters long. So what we want to do is, since we're using these nice vertical ones, the Baguette is not 1,000 meters wide, but if we manage to get it 500 meters there and back, it will perfectly fit in with the fact that these are 2 blocks high, so we can run 2 tubes high. And then it'll bring it be perfect. And then it'll be a perfectly maxed out particle system. So that will run 2/3 of the length, and that will leave us a nice third of the length to be a giant battery block and engine. So we just gotta keep going until we get to exactly 500 meters. Which is going to take a long-ass time. This is very strange looking. Having just the holdout interior of the Baguette. It's kind of sad in a way. After all that, I just press backspace. Oh, it's struggling. It's struggling so bad. I should also bring my mic down. I'm not a professional, so I'm still allowed to fuck this up. Oh, it looks good. Oh, it looks very, very disturbing, actually, to see. This giant empty space. Does it still float? Even without air in it? Yes, it actually floats better than the side with air in it. Alright, let's see how much this frankly awfully designed ship is going to cost. So for reference, 2 million is the most expensive ship in the game. 4.7. Alright, I might have gone a little bit overboard off camera, but here we go. It's got a new paint job. Slightly new vibes, but I wanted it to look a lot more clean and a lot more twin guardish. Now we just need to switch this red color. Maybe just like a deep black with a slight reddish hue. Now with our god-awful expensive ship, it's time to, slowly but surely build up the giant engine system that will be needed to run this thing. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, 22. We have 22 particle cannons to deal with. And each one of them, 800,000 energy. So bare minimum, 17 million energy to run this thing. Or to fire this thing, not to run it. To run it, we're going to need a ridiculous engine. We'll start with just the battery. And maybe the battery isn't as ridiculous as I thought it was going to be. Alright, this is a relatively reasonable battery. Like a 100 grand battery. Less than. On the other hand, we're going to need 1.7 million engine power. So, for reference, now I want this thing to be able to sustain fire. I don't, it doesn't need to, but I kind of want it to. So this would be about the engine needed. Maybe we won't have that much. Reactivating the connection checks is agony. But maybe we won't need that much engine. Maybe we'll just do some normal. Reasonable amount of engine and then just a massive battery that charges up between fights. This color is actually like perfectly the color of rust or dried blood. Actually quite a neat aesthetic. I might try to keep that in the back of my head for the future. Alright, so that will be good for 3 shots of the particle cannons. Let's just test it out real quick. I'm kind of scared. Oh, the audio. As I have discovered in the past with significantly more ridiculous particle cannon projects, the game's audio does not like a lot of particle cannons being fired at once. The bassy rumble just becomes complete agony when Unity Engine tries to play so many high bass audio together. To, I think, no one's surprise at all, these engines take a lot of fuel to run. The 7 small building-sized engines. And the Cyber Baguette is high-tech, meaning no more of that tram nonsense. We've got teleporters here. Mostly, to be honest, the reason I'm removing this is because it just doesn't vibe with the aesthetic. The graceful and divine aesthetic of this ship. You know, I did this for the burnt baguette too. The other variation of the baguette that I made. Where I had to just slowly tear all this apart. I'm really doing more work than is required by doing it again. I don't want to destroy the rest of the silhouette too much. I mean, it's a very important part of the baguette, but man, I do want to gussy it up just a little bit more. Maybe not like that. Maybe that's not the right way to gussy. One critical way of doing that, or one way of, what am I saying? Oh my god, it is too late right now. We want to point at it. Well, we really can't, so I guess we're just gonna ram it. You know, screw it. Life's too short. We're just going to ram straight into the enemy ship. And now this one's pretty simple, nothing to do but to test it. This is really going to be either it wins immediately or just slowly flounders until the enemy ship wails on it and it dies. Now, unlike the normal baguette, this thing doesn't have redundancy, so it will make up for it in nothing. This has no redeeming qualities, it's just vanity. It's just a really funny idea of having the most ridiculously oversized plasma cannon running the length of this ship. You know, there are a bunch of From the Depths YouTubers you can watch. I like to think that I have a different energy from most, and I feel like you're not here for a ship with redeeming qualities or a ship with reason. This is vanity projects here, okay? This is just, we're gonna do it because we can, just to prove that we can. Because it would be really funny if we did. Alright, I put this here. I actually kind of like the look of it. As like an eye on the front here. Ooh, I might be liking this. Ooh, I might be completely in love with this. Feels vaguely anime-esque with like a metal mask made of these guns. I wonder if I could make like a big metal rim here and kind of lean into that more. I really want to. I really want this aesthetic to work. This is going to sound strange and like I'm taking a lot of leaps of logic here, but the vibe I'm getting is giant sea creature that's been transformed into like metal monstrosity with its mouth being replaced by a bunch of laser cannons. And I'm not gonna make that, but I want it to sort of elicit that vibe, if you know what I mean. Or you know what, we could just make that. You know, what's stopping us? Ethics? Kind of. Here, that looks kind of cool. I do fuck with this. Uh-oh. There was a second magazine that I completely forgot to remove. That would have been a silly weak spot to have left in. And, well, I think it's 5 million, so there's not gonna really be a fair comparison, so let's just throw it up against the crossbones. Thanks, game, for jerking my camera around so I couldn't see it, but it did 661,000 damage already. Ate a chunk out of it. Ate another chunk out of it. Are we trying to go forward? We are indeed. I mean, of everything, there's not much to say about it. It got damaged in the side, and now it's an unsafe connection. And we're blowing ourselves to pieces. But on the flip side... What? It cleaved the thing's back off. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. It's a $5 million PAC, but god dang! This thing got destroyed. Again, it's 10 times the price, so like... I can't really be surprised. Honestly, I just wanted to line up. Let's test it up against something else. Something a little more substantial. Now, the complete lack of any sort of redundancy or efficient construction is going to make this terrible. All in all. But let's see what kind of damage it can do before it's ruined. Ah. The underside is gone, and unfortunately it didn't take out a single one of these missiles. Alright, with how bad it was lagging at lower quality mode, I am not looking forward to seeing what happens when this thing fires again. You know what? Surprisingly, it didn't seem to lag as much, actually. We're using Thump, which is why it's causing such large, open... Oh my god. Well, there goes that gun's entire magazine, and the front, and that gun. Oh, it's dead. So our choice of 3 shots seems to have been, right on the money of what it needs to kill most things. You know, it may not be efficient, but it may not be good in a fight, but it may not be pretty, but it may not be cost-effective, but it may not be well-built, but it kind of looks cool. And that's really all you can ask for, other than those other 4 things that I dismissed as not important. You might want to ask for those, but you're not getting them, so no point in asking. So actually, don't bother asking for them. What you can do is go to my Discord and leave some suggestions, or just hang out if you want. This particular one was a Discord suggestion, running insane amounts of particle cannons down the length of this thing. I thought it was really funny, but I had seen a couple other Baguette modifications. I wanted to do them all in a series, so this is actually kind of part 2 of 3. Subscribe and stay tuned for part 3. I'm going to have the normal Baguette, but instead of the 45 identical guns, it's going to be 45 unique guns, each doing their own thing. That's going to be a big one, so subscribe to stay tuned, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.